Did you know that there is an authentic Shanghainese restaurant where you could get dishes like soup dumplings and rice cakes minutes from New York's largest commuter bus terminal? Hi, this is Arthur from the Minute Review Show. If you have a minute, I have an opinion. Today, I'm taking you to Shanghai Time, a restaurant literally 2 blocks away from the Port Authority in Manhattan. I love that convenience, especially for busy commuters who might want to stop by and pick up something for home. I enter the restaurant and find a cozy space with 2 distinct dining areas. The waiters quickly seated me after giving me my choice of tables. Come join me and stick around to see what's my star of the show. Hi, this is Arthur from the Minute Review Show, and today I'm in the Port Authority area, Times Square area, and we're at a restaurant called Shanghai Time. Shanghai Time is, of course, a Shanghainese restaurant, and I looked at the menu quickly, and there seems to be some items that are not Shanghainese, but most of the items are. So what I'm going to do today is that I'm going to try 5 different items. They're on the smaller side, but 5 different items to show you what it's like to eat here. Okay, when I arrived at the table, they gave me an iPad, and this is where you can do all your ordering. So if we take a close look, we have pan-fried soup dumplings. You have basically all your items on the left-hand side. I won't go through all of them, but you can get a quick look as to what they have on the left-hand navigation. Click on a few things, and you can see that screen changes as I click onto the different items. And I'm going to order several dishes to show you what they have. I just wanted to mention that I've been here for about 10 minutes and I've heard a stream of 1980s greatest hits. Gloria by Laura Branigan. Also, I heard Footloose by Kenny Loggins. So yeah, I think this is the playlist at this restaurant. Okay, the first dish I ordered is the Shanghai pork rice cakes. Now, this comes in a decent portion. It's not overly huge, but here are the rice cakes. They're nice and sticky as usual, as you can see. And also, it comes with some bok choy. This appears to be the regular, actually not bok choy. I believe this is a Shanghainese bok choy. But what's interesting about this is that these leaves are darker than the lighter Shanghainese bok choy. So that's only a guess. And also here are the strips of pork that comes with this rice cake. The pork and the rice cakes are fried in a soy sauce. So you can see that this is a dark soy sauce. And from the aroma, I can tell that it's very soy saucy, very maybe even oyster sauce in smell. So I'm going to give this a try very soon. The final dish that I would like to try is the pork rice cake. This is a stir-fried dish with pork, rice cakes, and vegetables. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to try the rice cakes first, and I'm going to judge it by the texture because usually you can tell a good rice cake by its texture. Once again, done perfectly. They're not stuck together. They're not overly oily. They have a nice chew. It's wonderful. Once again, perfectly boiled, perfectly prepared. I wouldn't say boiled, perfectly prepared. Texture is amazing on this. The next thing that I can tell you about this is that the soy sauce that they're using seems to be some kind of seasoning soy sauce. Once again, it doesn't taste overly salty like a light soy sauce. It has a very strong umami in the soy sauce, so that I really enjoy. And it doesn't smell like oyster sauce either, so I think it's just regular seasoned soy sauce. It's really nice. Next, I'm going to try the pork. So here it goes. Okay. Nothing special about the pork. It's just in little slices. It's been julienne, cooked perfectly. Finally, we have what I suspect is a Shanghainese bok choy. Although I'm not sure it looks like a bok choy, but it's a green. Let's just say it that much. I'm not an expert on vegetables. Crunchy. just the way it should be. There's a nice sweetness to the vegetable. Absolutely delectable. Very good. Let's have some more of this. Look at that. They're stacked in threes, but that doesn't mean that they're stuck together. Not too salty, very pleasant. So what I can say is it's going to be very hard to choose the star of the show for this episode. The next dish that has come to the table is the scallion pancake. And the scallion pancake is just one pancake. I believe this is also about $6. And yeah, these appear to be very flaky. You can see that it's coming off a bit. It appears to be a nice layered pancake, not too thin. There appears to be ample scallion spread throughout. Okay, I'm looking at the other pieces and that appears to be the case. And it's very crispy when I'm feeling it with my hand. Yeah, they're nice and brown, nice and crisp. Okay, for the appetizer, I'm going to try that first. And it's the scallion pancake, which is this. As I can see, there's a lot of layers here, and there's scallion spread throughout. So we're going to give this a try. Okay, here goes. Okay. What I can tell you is that this has a very nice crisp. The interesting thing is that it's not very salty, which is a bit unusual. I think it might be a little undersalted. Then again, it just might be my taste because I like highly salted food. When I bite into this pancake, it's nice and crispy, which reflects in the brownness of the pancake. Now, the great thing about this pancake is that there's that contrast between the texture of the crispy outside and the chewy inside. I wouldn't say it's gummy on the inside. It's just a nice, wheat, bready gumminess in between. There's a lot of good things in this, the crunchiness, but my only criticism of this is that it could use a tad more salt. Otherwise, this is a solid pancake. I ordered the pork soup dumplings, and at this place at Shanghai Time, they have a serving size of 4 soup dumplings. This is only $6.50, so it's a very reasonable price. Let's pick up the soup dumpling and see what it's like. Okay, ooh, it's dripping some soup. I didn't expect that. Let's pick this one up. Okay, well, there's a little paper on the bottom, and when I touch this, it's not a thin, baggy skin, so yeah, this might be a little thicker skin. But one thing that I can tell immediately is that the top is good because it's pinched and it's not a giant lump of dough. If you watch my other reviews, I usually dislike the large lump of dough that a lot of places seem to have, so that's a good sign. I could do with a thicker skin, but yeah, thicker skins are permissible, but not the lumpy top. So yeah, this appears to be very promising. We're going to give this a try. Okay, I'm going to try the pork soup dumplings. This is what it looks like. It's a little stiff, but I think it's stiff because the skin is a little thicker. But as I said before, the top is not a ball of dough, so it's very promising. Okay, so let's give this a bite. Okay, now clearly the soup is very clear. In fact, it's kind of colorless, but it's full of flavor. It tastes very porky. I taste a hint of sweetness in the soup, and it's not a thick soup, that's for sure. The skin is a medium thickness, which is totally acceptable. It's nice, soft and supple. And as I eat this dumpling, I can sense that there's no vegetables in there, which it shouldn't be. It's just a pork meatball. And the interesting thing in here is that there might be some pork skin cut into this pork meatball, which gives it a little crunch. It's not a tightly packed meatball, but it's nice. This is full of flavor. I actually like this. Though it's not my conventional pork soup dumpling. It's full of flavor. So I did enjoy that. The next dish that came to the table is the peanut sauce and noodles. Now this particular dish is fairly cheap. I think it was only about $6.50. It comes with these white, what I'm assuming are wheat noodles. And it also comes with this peanut sauce. Peanut sauce appears to be, it's very interesting. It's not like the peanut butter color, which is like American Jif peanut butter color. It's more like a light color, more like a sesame color. So I can't wait to taste this and see if it's actually the American style peanut butter. Okay. Okay, now it's time to give this sesame noodle a mix and see what we have here. Okay, we have the peanut sauce on top, and then looks like there's some soy sauce on the bottom. So we're really gonna need to give this a mix to give it a nice even coating of the peanut sauce and the soy sauce. Initially I thought this was only peanuts, but no, there's some soy sauce on the bottom. Can't wait to see what the flavor profile is going to be. I can tell you from smelling it, it is more of a peanut flavor. Can't wait to try this. Now's the time to try the cold sesame noodle, and this is what it looks like. I mixed basically 3 elements of this dish together: the peanut sauce, the soy sauce, and also the noodles itself. So I'm really curious to see what flavor predominates in this dish. It's a cold dish. Here goes. Wow. The first thing that jumps out at me is that these noodles are crispy and crunchy. They're done just to the point of doneness, and it's really pleasant. I love the texture of these. They did it perfectly. Second, I taste the peanut sauce. I don't know if it's peanut or sesame, but I think it should be peanut. Wait, let me take a look at the menu. The menu says cold sesame noodles. Okay, my bad. It's sesame sauce. That was why it didn't look like peanut butter. Peanut butter has that darker color. There's a very light sesame color. So yeah, I can taste the sesame color, sesame flavor. And the next flavor that I taste is the soy sauce. The soy sauce is not the light soy sauce, is not the salty soy sauce. They seem to be using a less salted soy sauce. So it balances perfectly with the sesame sauce. I'm very impressed, because what makes this dish should be the flavor, but I'm blown away by the texture of the noodles. This is like top-rate noodles. If you come here, you really should try this. Okay, the next item that we're looking at is the dongpo pork buns. Now these pork buns are probably made with the dongpo pork, which is a famous Shanghainese dish. So you have a mantou type of wrapper, and this is basically a steamed white bun. And then let's rip this open and take a look at the inside. Okay, looks like there are 2 pieces of dongpo pork in this one, with some kind of hoisin sauce and also some spring onions. And then if I take a look at this one, yeah, this one appears to have a little more pork, which is good. And when I take a look at this, I think that they wanted a flavor profile of Peking duck, which is similar to Peking duck. Why do I say that? Because of the scallions and also because of the what appears to be hoisin sauce. We're gonna take a bite of this and confirm what I see. The next dish I'm going to try is the dongpo pork bun. Now, they give you 1 big slice of pork, and this is pork belly. For those who know what dongpo pork is a famous Shanghainese dish, which is basically known as hong shao rou, which is red braised pork. So you can see the braised marks on this. And there's also a smaller slice of pork on the inside. What I like about this is that they try to make it look like a Peking duck, but instead of a wrapper, they use a bun. All the elements are there. A starch and the meat. Different kind of meat though, not duck. So let's try this and see how it tastes. Okay, that's interesting. This sauce is not, I don't think it's hoisin sauce. It has more of a beany flavor, like hoisin sauce mixed with some kind of bean paste, which gives it a different, more earthy flavor. But the sauce is nonetheless, it's sweet. The bun tastes like any old steamed white bun, Chinese white bun. So let's try some of that meat again. Okay. So if you take a close look, the meat isn't very thick. It might be about a quarter of an inch thick. Would have been nice if it were a little thicker. All the elements work together. Scallions, pork, and the sauce. I just wish that there were a little more meat. But you know, for 2 buns for about a little over $6, this is worth it. It tastes really good, and it's worth it as an appetizer. Okay, and now your favorite part of the show. Ta-da! The star of the show. And today, my star of the show was so hard to choose from. I only had 2 candidates. One was the sesame cold noodles, and the other was the pork rice cakes. What did I choose? My choice came down to this. It came down to texture. Both had great texture, but one dish had over the other was balanced. And what had the better balance was the sesame cold noodles. And the reason why the sesame cold noodles was the best was because it is so crunchy, so pleasant to eat. It was just, I don't know, it wasn't too salty, it wasn't too, I don't know, one didn't overwhelm the other. The sesame sauce didn't overwhelm the soy sauce, the noodles didn't overwhelm the other 2. It was just wonderful, and I highly recommend that dish. If you ever come here, try that dish. You've probably had other versions of that dish, but this one is definitely high on my list of good sesame noodles. Here are my final thoughts of this restaurant. When you walk into the restaurant, it's long and rectangular. There are 2 distinct dining areas. One has about 6 tables, and all the way in the back behind me, there's another 6 tables. You can see people comfortably here. If you have a larger group, they just put the tables together. The service is actually pretty good. The food came out pretty fast. Ordering through the iPad is very efficient. I was just sorry not to be able to show you every single item on that iPad, but you can go online and see their menu from there. You can also see that most of their menu items are genuine Shanghainese food. There are 1 or 2 items that are not, but if you want the genuine experience, this is a great place to go. And once again, I am so glad that there's a place like this near the Port Authority where there's a lot of foot traffic. If you want to grab some great Chinese food before you go home, come here. It's also near Times Square, so if you're visiting New York and visiting Times Square, you can come here for a good Chinese meal. Thanks for watching the Minute Review Show. And if you like this program, please subscribe and give my program a like. And also, if you would like to, you can buy me a coffee. The link is in the description. All these meals cost me some money personally, so if you would like to buy me a coffee, that would be great. Thanks. And also, I forgot, leave me a comment if you have any recommendations, and also any comments about my channel. So thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you very soon in my next video. The final bill is $42.89 before tip.